Well, let's get the Second Amendment as envisioned by the gun control advocates. A well regulated population being necessary to the security of a police state, the right of the government to keep and destroy arms shall not be infringed. Right? Isn't that what Soros wants, or Hildbeast, or Obama? Yeah, that's what they want. I just want to point out something here. Actually, almost all these mass shootings that have been going on over the last decade, and even this thing that happened here recently in Dallas, they're staged, not like false flag, like they didn't happen. Because I know there's a lot of people going down that trail. Yeah, maybe the body counts have been changed on some things, like with Sandy Hook or the Orlando shooting. I don't even know if that's absolutely correct. I wouldn't know, okay? But I do know that they're being pushed and orchestrated by money powers, particularly George Soros and people that own the NGOs, the Council on Foreign Relations, the ones that institute policy in this country and recommend policy in this country. Now, the Second Amendment does not grant us a right. It's an inherent right. And I want to also tell you that before the Second Amendment, like they had the Magna Carta. How the hell they get the Magna Carta to be signed by the king? Well, they put the sword to the king's throat at the Battle of Runningmead. They made him sign it, basically. That's how it happened. Yeah, sign this or your head's going to be removed. Anyway, the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia, which means all the people, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That means not infringed, right? Period. It says a period right after it. Now, the guy that's actually looking to control us, one of the main guys, not this guy. Now, actually, I want to get onto something here before I even talk about Soros, Hildebeest, and Obama, and George Bush. And George Bush didn't seem like he was so much for gun control, but he's still a New World Order operative. They kind of, one side lays off the gun issue more, but they still push the New World Order stuff. Chiang Kai-shek. Now, this is a guy. This guy's a genuine hero, a global hero, not just a hero of China. I know maybe the Chinese Communist Party will hate him today because he's a hero of Taiwan, but he's a hero of the Chinese people, the mainland Chinese people, because he was somebody for freedom. But you know what he did with the communists? He wasted them. He didn't screw around. He didn't talk to them. He didn't debate them. He just killed them. That's a good idea, actually, because what did the Chinese communists do? Like when Mao Zedong got the guns, the globalists made sure that Chiang Kai-shek wouldn't have the guns. They were supposed to get the weapons. And if you look at John F. Kennedy back when he was a congressman, he basically laid out exactly what happened. He wrote in the congressional record that Chiang Kai-shek was prevented from getting the weapons he needed to make sure China was a free country, and Mao Zedong got everything. And the globalists, that was globalist policy. We don't want to use that cliche word, but Chiang Kai-shek is the right way to do stuff. Hey, communists, waste them. Screw it. I always say, hang the Hildebeest. There's more indictment. What do you need indictment for? We got a rope. Anyway, it's Soros. I have to agree with Vlad Putin. Vlad, I'm going to start putting out some nice things about you now. Really, I'm going to make up for all the bad stuff I said against you. Because even though I know you're a dictator, you know what? You're looking really good compared to what's going on over here right now. Yeah, it looks like, on a separate issue, it looks like, our country here in the West, America, is pushing Russia into World War III, maybe as a diversion for the economic collapse. I don't know. Hey, is this doom and gloom I'm trying to push on purpose? No, because I don't want this shit to happen. Okay? But, Chiang Kai-shek, that's the right way to do things, man. Just whack him, I think you... Like this guy, you just freaking string him up, get rid of him. Fuck it, the hell with it. What the hell? I mean, really, what the hell? He's an evil egomaniac, man. He wants to... this thing he funds, Black Lives Matter, he hates blacks, man. He's full of shit. I'm going to tell you that right now, okay? He's full of skata. Is that the better word to use? The Greek word instead of the American word? The guy that killed the cops here recently in Dallas, he says, oh, that's because I saw a video of these cops doing something in another video on YouTube or something, so I figured I'd kill some cops in Dallas. I was like, what the hell? But you know what? He must have known the route the cops where the cops were going to be through the Black Lives Matter protest. And how did he know that? Because he was given the information by Black Lives Matter, right? In other words, it was a semi-professional hit. Yeah, for an agenda, right? Chiang Kai-shek was okay, man. Actually, we need to go back to that Committee for Un-American Activities or something, subversive Un-American activities like they used to have in the early 50s. Yeah, just go for it, man. Get rid of all these subversive communists, man. Don't even put them on trial. Just whack them. Like here, Hildebeest. There, yeah, you're looking at it, baby, the noose. You know, it's like voting for her because she's a woman. It's like eating a Tootsie Roll, a piece of crap on the ground because he thought it was a Tootsie Roll. That's exactly the way I look at it with this deal here too. And I'm kind of harping on the gun control issue. Actually, that's the main thing the communists get. Yeah, that's a cliche word, the communists, right? But what the deal is? It's like Adolf Hitler and Hillary Clinton. They got something in common. It's like the individual has to sacrifice for the state. Yeah, the state being they control the state. You sacrifice for them. Go to hell. You know. And the problem is, I'm going to tell you flat out, honestly. The problem is it's not even just her, and it's like the opposition to her and Clinton, her Billy Boy, the husband. Guy's a freaking yo-yo. And Obama. Well, I'll also tell you, he's not black, whatever he is. He's got dark. He's Arabic or whatever. He's Ethiopian Arabic and white. He's mainly white, actually. Yeah, I know. It's another con job. I don't know why the black people voted for this guy, man. Oh God! But that's why I'm suspicious of Trump, because Trump is supposed to be appealing to the white, middle-aged, established. I'm going to build a wall and stop all the Muslims from coming over. I don't know about that guy either, man. He could just be playing. I think he is playing a game with that shit, and maybe he's not as liberal as I suspect him to be, because he was buddy with the Clintons forever. But but he is playing little political talking points for media attention with some of the radical things he's saying. Because any kind of media attention is good, right? I don't trust any of them, I don't trust any of them. I don't really give a shit about any of them. Now, I'm going to tell you this, even though I know that even in local police, they could be screwed up sometimes. They're not all freaking perfect. I know that, and you know what? Even the ones that are screwed up, though, do a lot of good stuff. And they do something screwed up every once in a while. They're not like doing something screwed up 100% of the time. Even the ones that are screwed up, right? But the deal is the local police is actually like an arm of the local government. You know what? If you're going to deal with government, you want to deal with local. You don't want to deal with New World Order. You don't want to deal with D.C. and all that. You really want to support your local police and all that kind of stuff, right? Now, actually, I got another. I'm kind of going on a tangent here about this gun control stuff because I'm not really a hardcore like, hey, get them criminals and put them in jail. Actually, I think a lot of times people could be rehabilitated. Like, in a lot of things, there are problems with nutrition. I'm totally, I'm going on a tangent here. I know I am, but I'm totally against these criminal psychiatric medicine people. These freaking psychiatrist assholes, whatever. I hate them. They're drug dealers, masquerading as doctors. I think a lot of times the criminal element can be rehabilitated through like what you call orthomolecular medicine, healing waves, and things like that. I know it sounds a little too huggy-feely. Some people out there are like, just kill the bastard, But I think a lot of people that are criminals really actually did commit a crime. They could be rehabilitated, and a lot of it is. There are chemical balances in the brain, like schizophrenia is caused by a lack of the coenzyme NAD, which that lack of coenzyme NAD can be increased by niacin, nicotinic acid, vitamin B3 in conjunction with vitamin C, which is a hormone, and CoQ factor 10. A lot of times things can be healed even psychologically through regular nutrition. I don't know why the hell they freaking damn correctional facilities don't use this because they don't know about it. Because, well, part of it is there's a big racket with drugs and I don't know, whatever, prison for profit. I'm against a lot of this prison bullshit. I don't like this tough on crime crap too much. Actually, if somebody's coming after me, yeah, I'll probably shoot them, but I won't try to shoot them to kill them. If they're trying to kill me, I think I'm good enough to shoot them where I could stop them. But if they try to sue me, I'll probably shoot them again. If you say, you bastards, I'll let you go by not freaking killing you. If you get a lawyer after me, I want to kill you. Anyway. But, these guys all here on the top, they're a load of shit. And really, Chiang Kai-shek, man, I wish he was like the spirit of Chiang Kai-shek was around. All three of these three stooges over here, Bush, Obama, and Clinton, hang them high. The hell with it. The deal is actually these guys are stooges of the New World Order. That's really what's going on. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, all these shootings we've had over the last, 10 years. I mean, yeah, the Columbine school shooting was the guy was on psychotropic meds. That was another thing. Screwed up his brain. Blah, and he does the shooting. The guy with the Sandy Hook, that was a psychotropic med person or something. Also, Wolfgang Halbig is actually looking at a lot of that. That's the former state trooper, and there's a lot of stuff that don't add up with that. He's also, besides a former state trooper, he was an expert on school security. The thing was a setup. Thing in Orlando was a setup. Now you got the Dallas thing. That guy looks like he was given information where the cops would be with the Black Lives Movement protest, so he can kill more of them. He knew where the hell they would be. And of course, he's conditioned by the media like, good, these cops are real evil and shit. Even the evil cops aren't evil all the time. I can tell you that right now. Even the cops that do a lot of shit wrong, they're not doing something 100% wrong. Well, they're not supposed to do something wrong. But I mean, even the local cops that are doing something wrong aren't doing something wrong 100% of the time. That's how it is, right? So anyway, hang the hill the beast. That's one. And Chiang Kai-shek, we got to bring him back. That's what I think. I think we need to bring back Chiang Kai-shek again. And this way, Soros could take a dirt nap where he belongs, and all the rest of them, like the Old West. Chiang Kai-shek should be wearing, like, instead of this military uniform, he should be wearing, like, a couple six-shooters, a cowboy hat, bandolier or some shit like that of ammo, and just give him hell. Because this is really the way it is, This is the way it is. I mean, I'm looking at it like, what? The communists want to do this to everybody else. And the way I look at it, too, anybody wants to disarm people, I consider it hate speech when they talk about disarming people. That's hate speech. Because it's like you're left, you want to be left totally vulnerable. And, I want to say something else, too, about these people that are, like this is their version of the Second Amendment. A well-regulated population being necessary to the security of a police state. The right of the government to keep and destroy arms shall not be infringed. These people are actually for gun control. A lot of them too. Here's another thing. They're afraid of owning a gun. You see, when you own a gun, you got responsibility, right? You got responsibility that you got to watch that you don't do something accidentally and or an accidental discharge. It's not hard to freaking learn how to do all this shit. And I never had an accidental discharge or anything like that. Never. And you got to watch that. You're pointing in the right direction and all this kind of stuff. Always in a safe direction, even if it's unloaded, you cleared it. Always point in a safe direction. That kind of stuff. They're afraid of taking this responsibility. They didn't want to delegate it to somebody else. And also, I think they're afraid of themselves. They're afraid what they might do if they own a gun. They're afraid that if they get in an argument with somebody, they might shoot them. That's what I think. That's what I think they're afraid of. They're also afraid that maybe if they have a time in their life and if they have a low moment or something, they're afraid they might kill themselves. That's why they don't want to own a gun. They want to delegate that responsibility to somebody else and just not think like the problem is all solved. But then when you delegate the responsibility to somebody else, whether you put them in a uniform and they got a badge, or they got a green uniform, or they got a blue uniform, that same person has the same kind of problems as everybody else. He might feel like in a bad mood someday. Maybe he's not going to be. Maybe he could be even like a local cop. He could be a great cop for 20 years in a row, and then one day he's in a really, really, really bad mood. Somebody ran over his dog on purpose, and he's like pissed off, and maybe that's enough to shoot somebody in a certain situation where he normally wouldn't have, right? Now, I mean, everybody's human, right? I mean, I don't want to pick on the police here, but you know what I mean. When you delegate that responsibility to somebody else, you're not delegating to somebody that's like a saint, perfect, So, I mean, what it is a lot of times these people with gun control, they're afraid to own a gun themselves because it's got the big word out there, responsibility. It takes responsibility to own a gun. Yeah, And the ones that don't want you to own a gun, that are not the individuals that are afraid of responsibility, these are the egomaniacs that want to control you. They're the communists. They'll just be whacked. Screw it, because they want to whack you. They want to kill you. They ought to be whacked. I mean, I think they ought to just go back to the, what do they call that? The American House on the House Committee on Un-American Activities investigating body of the Congress. They look for all these people that are like suspected communists. Hey, look what the hell is the Rosenbergs got hung for, killed for? Hey, less than what freaking Hillary got freaking did. That's hanger, you know. I'd hang Comey too. With that Comey guy, I mean, he used to work for freaking Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, HSBC, and HSBC is the one that was doing all the drug laundering. He was like one of the banking directors or some bullshit, and he went to the FBI. He's hooked up with the system. What are you kidding me? Anyway, just want to put this out here quick and right to the point. And the other thing is, unfortunately, the people that are actually the most on with, the true American way, they're the working class people. The professional people are weasels. They're pretty much, whether it's CPA, doctor, attorney, whatever the hell they are, they will not get involved in this. They just love to have Billy Boy Clinton or Obama or George Bush as a client. Oh, good, I got some more money I give to my wife and lick her feet. That's all they care about. That's all they give a shit about. They're the problem too. You can't expect anything from the professional class in this country either. In a way, that's almost like the communist mantra, the working people. But, actually it is the working, but the thing is you want to play the game where a certain group gets in control and they say they're for the working people. You want to actually put the power in the hands of the working people. The working people don't really include the professionals. Now, I don't know what the hell I am. I'm kind of a semi-professional in some ways, but, I figure I want to keep doing this stuff on YouTube with media because I realize there's a hunger out there to get some kind of news from somebody that's presenting a different type of news and a little bit information that is not commonly known in the major media because everybody's getting brainwashed by the major media. I know everybody now is like thinking, oh, God, we had the Dallas shooting now. Look, the NRA is evil. That's what they're thinking. I was seeing comments on the NRA, and I was commenting right back out of these assholes. And you know what? I got an email from the White House saying about the Dallas shooting. You know what? I replied to the assholes in my email, and I said, yeah, it was a professional's hit job by Soros. I said probably, okay? It really was. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, maybe it wasn't professional, but it was, the guy was given where the cops would be when a protest, Black Lives Movement was, going around. So he knew where the cops were going to be for the most effect, right? The deal is, nothing's going to ever happen to Obama because actually maybe he will because he could be a stooge that's sacrificed. I don't know, man. Guy, who the hell knows, man? Actually, Hillary Clinton, I'm not sure if anything would ever happen to her health-wise or anything. Possibly, but, they're all so dirty and they're all hooked in with each other so much that if one goes down, they all go down. So they all have to keep going forward. And it's almost like a Ouija board. They don't know who the hell is actually. It's just got a life of its own, like a Ouija board. It's like the evil force. You think somebody else is moving the indicator, and they think the other guy's moving the indicator. No, you're moving it. I'm moving it. It's just got a life of its own. It's kind of like evil. It's gotten taken a hold of our government all the way, and we got the safeguards involved, which is the Bill of Rights. But, the Bill of Rights are being trampled on left and right. But you got to remember that the Bill of Rights did not come from the government granting us rights. That's a major point. The Bill of Rights is actually our individual God. Well, you don't want to say, even if you want to say it's God right, it's a God-given right. Say it's a innate right by nature or whatever. Say you don't want to, because some people don't want to use God. Some people don't want to use it's this or whatever, But it's a right that's always been there. It's a right that's always been there back when people were pagans. Back, 500 BC, it was recognized that, you had an individual right to be armed. People recognized that. And of course, the con artists, the elite, try to say no to some people because they wanted to control them like slaves. Well, only people that are slaves aren't armed. One thing I always found it was kind of weird that I remember looking back in history. This is a side note. You know, the Cherokee Nation, when they lived in present-day Oklahoma, also called the Indian Territory at the time, they adopted the Southern plantation system with slaves. And you know what's weird? I could never figure out exactly what kind of slaves they had because their black slaves were allowed to own their own house, have money, save money, and bear arms. Bear arms. And I was thinking, I don't know what the hell kind of slavery that was. That was almost like a semi-feudalism versus slavery. You know, because I know, like in the modern day history, they like to freaking slam the Cherokee Native American people because, some of them had slaves or something. But I don't know if that exactly was slavery. If you allowed your black slaves to have weapons, own money, have their own house, and pretty much go where you wanted to when you weren't working, I don't know what the hell that meant. I mean, it's like about the situation there is today, except if you live in Chicago and you're not allowed to own weapons, right? Anyway, so I just want to kind of put that 2 points in for the Cherokee American people as a side note in this video because if one people I know there's like all this stuff in the United States, the minorities this and minorities that. Well, you know what? All of us came from somewhere else, except for the people that lived here before us. We all got here, And actually, if America owes anything to anybody, it's the American Native peoples. I'm kind of hot on that subject. I figured I'd mention in there. And you know what they used to do? They used to try to make sure the American Native peoples didn't have arms, and they put them on reservations, right? Didn't they do that? Aren't they trying to do that to us today? Well, you know what? We gotta fight them. We gotta fight them, man. You know? Remember Geronimo? Anyway, what would Geronimo have done? Geronimo would have been very much pro Second Amendment. Yeah, I agree. There you go.